From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Coming up, the American Red Cross reveals staggering low numbers in blood donation and supply.
I'm Joe St. George in Washington. Inaction in Congress could impact construction season on your local highway. We explain next.
6:30 on this Monday.
When is there not construction on
That's a couple of seasons we have here in Montana. That's right, winter and road construction.
That's it.
Boy, that could throw a whole monkey wrench into everything, literally, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Happy Monday, Southwest Montana. Depending on where you are, you're getting wet.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're outside if that's happening. If it's inside, then you need to call a construction
you got some bigger problems.
Of your own.
Yeah. Temperatures this morning are a little warmer because of the cloud cover and because of the rain that's in place. That moisture just flowing in from the south, and that's driving those temperatures up a little bit. Now the satellite and radar, we don't get low-level coverage on our radar. Too many mountains, radar's too far away, hard to see this light stuff, and that's the case this morning. Expect to see off and on rain showers, most of it fairly light until the mid to late morning. Then we may see some moderate rain showers trying to work their way back through there. Damp roadways, daytime highs not budging a whole lot from where we are now. We'll be into the low, maybe mid-50s, and that's about all the warmer we go for a few days. We're going to break down your work week forecast, a look at Halloween, and we'll take a look at what you can expect with this storm system by midweek. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:31 now. Fatal officer involved shooting under investigation on the Fort Belknap Reservation. According to a news release from the reservation, happened early Saturday morning. Now, according to law enforcement reports, police officer tried to pull a vehicle over near Hayes, but the vehicle operator didn't stop, so officer pursued. When the chase ended, the person in the vehicle reportedly uncooperative and showed a weapon, which the report says, quote, resulted in an officer-involved shooting and fatality of the suspect, end quote. The FBI and Blaine County Sheriff's Office responded to investigate. Name of the person killed has not been released. Well, this past week, the National Institute of Health took an unusual step, sending out a news release debunking conspiracy theories related to the origins of COVID-19. One of those unproven theories includes the belief that the virus was created in a lab in China. The NIH statement read in part, quote, scientific evidence to date indicates that the virus is likely the result of viral evolution in nature, potentially jumping directly to humans or through an unidentified intermediary animal host. Potential for viruses to jump from animals to humans has long been a cause for concern and is what scientists think allowed outbreaks of the Ebola, SARS, and the Zika viruses. Maya Rodriguez takes us to a lab right here in Bozeman where researchers are working to try to prevent the next pandemic by taking a closer look at one specific animal.
Nestled within Montana's mountain ranges is one of the front lines in the fight to prevent a future pandemic.
It's just very unlucky when it happens and it's the right pathogen that can then spread within humans and cause disease.
Raina Plowright is an associate professor of epidemiology at Montana State University. She and others here are part of an international team of researchers taking a deep dive into viruses that can potentially jump from bats to humans. Many scientists hypothesize that's how COVID-19 spread to humans.
Those kind of events, we call them spillovers.
These are serum samples collected from the black flying foxes.
The U.S. Department of Defense recently awarded researchers here a $4 million grant on top of a previous $10 million one to try and figure out how bat viruses get into humans and what can be done to help prevent it.
The pandemic has definitely brought the knowledge of what spillover is, what bat viruses are, very much to the forefront, and I think has made it a little more easy to find funding for this type of research.
The work is not easy, in part because there are 1,400 species of bats that can potentially cause a viral spillover to humans.
It's incredibly frustrating, so we think we come up with a coherent story about how bats actually mount these immune responses, and then the story's completely turned on its head when we look at a new species.
If they can figure it out, though, the information could help create a mathematical model that would forecast when and where a spillover event might happen and potentially prevent a pandemic from unfolding.
I think understanding when higher risk situations are and communicating that to public health would probably be the best bet.
But one important piece of the puzzle, they say, is ongoing human impact on the environment.
It's building roads, clearing habitats, taking animals out of habitat for trade. All of these factors bring us into closer association and increase the opportunity for spillover. It's like they're the canaries. We're seeing this as a signal of our relationship with nature changing, and we really should be paying attention to this,
so that the world might escape the grip of another pandemic. In Bozeman, Montana, I'm Maya Rodriguez.
6:35 now. It is not a secret that COVID has affected us in all aspects of our lives, and we're still feeling it. One critical avenue of life is essentially feeling the effects of the pandemic as well. TN's Hannah Hislop has more on the staggering low numbers of blood supply.
I'm Hannah Hislop, standing outside of the American Red Cross here in Missoula, where they say since the surge in COVID-19 cases in August, they've seen a dramatic decrease in the number of blood supply and donations, which they say is a scary place to be. Carmen Madsen, the American Red Cross Montana Recruitment District Manager, says the national blood inventory is the lowest they have seen this time of year since 2015. Of the population eligible to give blood, only 2% actually donate. Madsen says this is alarming because they normally see a recovery of blood supply this time of year, with back to school. Currently, there is less than a day's supply of blood for some blood types, and for type O blood, there is less than half a day's supply. Madsen says that ideally the Red Cross needs to have a 5-day supply for every blood type.
The American Red Cross nationally must collect an additional 10,000 units each week over the next month to recover the blood supply. So as I was saying, right now we're so low of blood, and those day supply that I was talking about, think about that, we have to collect an additional 10,000 units from what we've been collecting. So that's a really challenging place to be.
1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives, so the need for blood is constant and consistent. Now, Madsen said that if you do want to donate blood and you have had COVID, another illness, or the vaccine, they are more than willing to take your blood donations, as that does not matter. All that matters is that you are completely recovered and you know what vaccine you got. In Missoula, Hannah Hislop, MTN News.
6:37 now. For months, you have heard reports about infrastructure and how Congress still hasn't passed a major funding bill. While a vote could happen this week, there's a real consequence to all of this congressional inaction, with the impact being felt by local and state transportation departments. Our Joe St. George takes a closer look at how these delays may impact the road you drive on.
Across the country, local and state transportation leaders are growing frustrated. On September 30th, the Federal Highway Trust Fund, which funds many road projects in the country, expired. That resulted in more than 3,000 people being briefly furloughed and road projects placed temporarily in limbo. Congress eventually passed a 31-day extension that now expires on October 31st. As that date now rapidly approaches, why should you care?
We have this 31-day short-term extension instead of a 5-year long-term bill that we're all hoping for.
Jung Lee is Director of Policy with the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials. He says, while short-term extensions may sound fine since they keep federal dollars flowing to current projects and allow transportation officials to stay employed, short-term extensions do not give local and state leaders much flexibility to plan the next big project. Only long-term funding agreements do. That means right now it's difficult for local transportation leaders to schedule everything from needed bridge rehabilitation to necessary lane closures. A lack of road maintenance, Lee says, impacts your commute.
The short-term program uncertainty impacts every state and locality in the country.
For the moment, leaders in the House of Representatives only want to send the infrastructure bill, which has already passed the Senate, to the White House when a separate $1 trillion-plus spending bill can reach President Biden's desk at the exact same time. That legislation, which addresses child care and the environment, is extremely controversial and costly. The bipartisan infrastructure bill funds the Federal Highway Trust Fund for 5 years, giving the certainty, Lee says, planners in your community need.
States certainly bring a lot of their own dollars and resources to the table as well, but it's really the federal program that makes it work across the entire country as a whole.
If Congress can't get President Biden's signature policy items passed before the end of the month, another short-term funding extension for highways is expected, worsening an already growing planning problem for our nation's roads. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
All right, thank you, Joe. 6:39. We're going to take a break. When we